How's it going, guys? Alex here. Welcome back to another Dokkan Battle video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the newest TEQ TIEN as well as the TEQ second form cell. For some reason I was saying second perfect form cell before, but anyway, very interesting cards. They are the equivalent to the physical Super Buu and physical Gohan, which were released several months ago. So I would imagine that they are going to be releasing the exact, well, not the exact same units, but something similar for the other types, and I will be very interested to see what they are like when they eventually get announced, obviously. And I believe these particular set of units come out in 4 days, so definitely be on the lookout for them. And I've heard a few complaints here and there, and of course I will be addressing them in this video. But let's go ahead and have a look at Tien first, of course. And shout out to the Dokkan subreddit for all the translations as always. So TEQ SSR Tien, Desperate Super Attack. So let's go ahead and have a quick look at that, and I would imagine that the majority of you know where the super attack is from, and hopefully this time around it actually plays, because whenever I try to play it in a video it just never works, and it seems to be doing the exact same thing. What if I zoom in? Is that going to fix it? Nope, no, okay. Okay, so this is the super attack, and I'm just going to be quiet for the majority of it. Okay, so obviously that was the attack that he used against second perfect form, second form cell. I told you, I kept saying it. Second form cell, and it makes sense for them to release both of them at the exact same time. Obviously, Super Buu fought Gohan, and then Tien kind of fought Cell. Well, he kept Cell at bay for a period of time, and let's see what he can do. So Super Type Key, the Super TEQ Key plus 3 and 50% stat boost, and then he gives the free key to TEQ types. And he also gives an additional 40% attack and defensive boost to Super TEQ types. He loves attack with a super attack, which is interesting. So they've been giving hero units lowering attack, which is great. I love that mechanic. It's going to be very useful, especially on a mono TEQ team, because they don't have, well, the team doesn't necessarily have too many tanking capabilities. Granted, you have LR Goku, whose defensive stat can get pretty high with enough ability system buffs, and of course his defensive stat is high anyway, so when you take into account the double Super Saiyan 3 Goku leader skill, it's going to help him tank relatively well. And of course it applies to the other units. When you raise the defense enough in the ability system, they should be able to tank relatively well when it comes to the actual event. But Tien is just going to help that even more, because when you lower the attack of your opponent, it obviously allows your units to tank much better. His links are Z Fighters, Crane School, Cold Judgment, Rival Duo. I don't know why that says Rival Duo, but I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Rival Duo. Experienced Fighters, which is the link that I got wrong last time, and Over in a Flash. So I think you guys can already guess what the main problem with this particular unit supposedly is. So pardon me. Over in a Flash, it's a bit of a surprise to some people, because they tend to give this link to units that have a form that can't be sustained for a long period of time. But then you have LR Margin Vegeta, who is the exception to this rule, and clearly Tien is that exception as well, because he does not have, well, he doesn't have any form as like he doesn't have any form that we know of that doesn't last too long. So Over in Flash, obviously that particular maneuver didn't last for too long, and he shares that link with Gotenks and Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and he also gives the free key to TEQ types, and that is the biggest problem. The fact that he gives free key and also has that Over in Flash link may be a bit of a problem to some people. So let's say that you have Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you have Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, and then you have Tien. Okay, so let's say that you do have those three in the same turn. You have to keep in mind that Tien is mostly going to be your floater, so the fact that he only comes up like every 3 turns isn't going to be that much of a problem for your Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. And you have to keep in mind that even though his 12 key super attack doesn't hit that hard, he is still going to be hitting for over 1 million without any problems, because I've said this before, like my Gotenks on global with a 12 key super attack and a critical hits can easily hit for over 1 million. So can you imagine how hard a Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks with, you know, a ton of ability system buffs, links up with Super Saiyan 3 Goku and everything, can you imagine how much that Gotenks would hit for with just that 12 key super attack, and obviously the boost from the double leader skill? But keep in mind that Tien is still giving Gotenks that 40% attack boost with his own passive, so he may not hit as hard as he would with his 11 key super attack. I'm not saying that the 12 key super attack is going to hit hard by any means, but he isn't missing out on that much damage. And keep in mind that in that particular turn, I'm saying keep in mind a lot, you have Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you have Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks who could potentially both get crits, and that single rotation should be capable, or very close to being capable, of taking that particular stage out without any problem. So you have to keep that in mind. Granted, if you have a type disadvantage, it's another story, but where you have a neutral advantage, and you have 2 units that can hit incredibly hard at Super Attack 10, despite, you know, 12 key Super Attacks or whatever, he still is capable of hitting ridiculously hard, and Tien is an incredible addition to that tech type team, especially if you have an optimal team, because let's think about the optimal team. The optimal team is most likely going to be Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, LR Goku, Bardock, Super Saiyan Adult Gotenks. I know that he's an exclusive unit, but he is optimal, and then in the last slot, you're most likely going to have Tien, or, you know, Super Saiyan Future Trunks, but let's just put Tien in that team for now. And the reason why Tien fits so well in this team, and why he provides so much to this team, is obviously because Prepared for Battle only gives, you know, they only share 2 ki with each other. And you also have to keep in mind that the rotations are most likely going to consist of Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, and then in the next rotation, it's most likely going to be LR Goku and LR Bardock. So your floaters are going to be Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Tien, and the last slot, again, is interchangeable. I believe the last one was going to be Super Saiyan Adult Gotenks, and the reason why he's so good is because he has the Saiyan lineage, if I'm not mistaken, which is a link that a few of the tech type units actually share. So that is one of the reasons why he's actually in there. But the point is, Tien provides enough to the team for him not to be a liability. I know some people don't like the fact that Gotenks is going to be on 12 ki like every 3 turns, but like, just think about it in the grand scheme of things, it really isn't going to be affecting your damage output that much. Granted, I will say this, if your Gotenks is at Super Attack 1 and he does not have any ability system buffs, that may be a problem. However, if that's not the case, then Tien will be a great addition to your team. And let's just say that you don't have a Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, Tien is going to be an incredible addition to that team, because if you don't have another over and flash unit, who is Goku going to link with? And obviously Tien would be perfect for replacing Gotenks. Obviously, he can't replace Gotenks' damage output, but he does have that value in lowering attack, and he also gives that 40% attack and defensive boost. He doesn't have his battle, his link set isn't the greatest by any means, but the fact that he does share links with him and gives that attack boost, and obviously can lower attack, definitely has a lot of value to that tech team. So now, moving on to second form Cell, and I have to say, I actually really like the art, as well as Tien, to be fair. They are doing a pretty good job with the art. Let's move on to what he can do. He gives 3 ki to extreme tech types, as well as a 50% stat boost. He gives 3 ki to extreme tech types, as well as a 40% attack and defensive boost. His links are Messenger from the Future, Big Bad Bosses, Attack of the Clones, The Wall Standing Tall, Nightmare Brutal Beatdown. So, as you can clearly tell, I'm trying to think of the best way to possibly word this, but his link set, honestly, despite not being the greatest, isn't that bad. He does have a few very good links in there. He has Nightmare and Big Bad Bosses. Big Bad Bosses is a huge link for villains right now, and obviously Nightmare is a big link as well. But despite him not sharing any common key links, doesn't really matter, because he already gives the 3 ki with his passive. So keep in mind that every single unit on, well, when the lead eventually comes out, because we don't even know what the lead is going to be, and I would imagine that the release of these units indicates that we are most likely going to be seeing the extreme tech type lead relatively soon, because if I'm not mistaken, the last big Dokkan event was, of course, Gogeta and Janemba, and we have this, it's not exactly a double rate spanner, but we do have this LR banner in between. So I would imagine that they are going to announce the newest lead in the coming days/weeks, most likely in a week's time. So I would imagine that this is, like I said before, this is one of the reasons why they're going to be releasing second form Cell. And like I said before, despite him not having the greatest key links, he is still going to be providing that 3 ki to tech types whenever he is up. So I just went ahead and thought of what the team looked like. It would be the lead, it would be Golden Frieza, you'd have Merger Masu, Mask Saiyan Bardock, Tech Perfect Cell maybe, and then you would obviously have second form Cell. And to be honest, that is a solid team, and this goes back to the video that I uploaded earlier. Like, it's definitely worth raising the super attack of your units like Golden Frieza, because that super attack 10, they're going to be hitting extremely hard, especially on that extreme tech lead, and when you take into account the boost that second form Cell gives, the payoff is definitely worth it. And of course, he lowers defense greatly, which again, I'm not too fond of. I'd rather have him lower attack, but to be fair, I will say that Tech already has several units that can potentially tank. Obviously, you have Golden Frieza, who's going to be an incredible tank on that team because of how hard it is to get below that 50% restriction. And then you have Perfect Cell, who His defensive stat is already pretty damn high, and of course his stats are going to be even higher if you've given him ability system boost. And when you take into account the double leader skill, his defense is going to be insanely high, and of course per orb obtained he gets a defensive boost, so he definitely will have a lot of value on that team. Now that I think about it, I believe that Cell actually has the Attack of the Clones link, which means that Perfect Cell isn't going to have any problem super attacking, especially with the boost that he gets from this Cell's leader skill, passive skill rather. So despite, I don't imagine that team is going to share too many links together, but again, this is where TEQ second form Cell actually has a lot of value in there. And his release is definitely going to fix a lot of the problems that a team like Physical had when Cooler initially came out. Obviously, Physical won't have, or Physical and Global won't have as many problems as it did on JP. Pardon me, because Goku Black does have that passive. It still will here and there, but at least we now know that they are going to release that Physical Super Boo, which is going to help that team out massively. So this is why they are releasing. Well, this is one of the reasons why they are going to be releasing a unit like second form Cell to help out that team. So I think I've pretty much covered everything. Both of these units are going to be great additions to their team. I know some of you may not agree with what I said, but let me know in the comment section down below. Personally, I think they are going to be great additions to their respective teams, and hopefully in the coming days, like I said before, they will be announcing the Extreme Tech Lead, and I am looking forward to seeing who he is going to be. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one.